Streaming from Madison, Wisconsin and Minneapolis, Minnesota. Straight to your personal devices. Available on all major platforms and YouTube. This is the Armchair Analysts podcast. And here are your hosts, Ace and Johnny.
We did it. We made it to another week. We've survived. Congrats.
Yay.
As mentioned, this is Armchair Analysts. I am Johnny. That is Ace. And we are your handsome hosts for this fine episode.
Heidi ho.
How's it
Heidi
going?
ho, neighbor. Neighbor to the east. I had to think about that for those listening.
Today's a special day. Today's a very special day. Ace is celebrating. I'm celebrating. And so, in honor, we're going to have a little beer episode. So.
What are we celebrating, Johnny?
I don't want to say. Let's just say it's a nice day, and we're all very happy for you.
Spring. Yeah, we're celebrating spring.
Celebrating spring and opening day next week. There you go. That's what's up. All right.
Perfect. I like that. Kickoff.
Let's do a little rundown for this week. All right. So I think it's kind of obvious what our topics are going to be, but I'm still excited either way. I don't care. So we'll start off with Random Rant, which the beer kind of ties into.
Well, they never know what that is, so.
Yeah, well, this one, the beer is kind of foreshadowing, but it's going to be difficult to pick that one. And then we're just going to do the regional roundup, do a little recap, Badgers, Vikings, Packers, yada, yada, yada. And then we're going to go over a little bracket recap to see how we got absolutely savaged this past week.
Thanks, Illinois.
Thanks, numerous teams.
True. Texas.
Tee off topic. This was Ace inspired. He wants to discuss the favorite sports moment over the weekend. How sentimental of you. And then we're going to wrap it up. We're bringing back Ace's Quick Six. Not betting, but he's got a specific person that he wants to shout out to. And he's got some information there. So, without further ado, Random Rant for this week. The beer ties in because I've been in denial for a little bit. I'm going to kind of bury the lead here. I've been in denial a little bit because,
how so, Johnny?
I had COVID back in November, early November, and, the thing is, I wouldn't even have known. I honestly thought I was just feeling like garbage, but I was under the weather, and then I couldn't smell anything. I got out of the shower, couldn't smell shampoo, deodorant, mouthwash, toothpaste. All of a sudden I'm like, okay, this is messed up. Like, this is so. And I've had people say, oh, it should come back in about maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. And eventually I started to taste more and more. We are now at the end of March, and I am sipping this beer, and I'll demonstrate. It does not taste. It does not taste. I love beer. I have been drinking beer since I've been able to steal it out of my parents' refrigerator, and I literally drink. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of. I was like a garbage disposal in college. Like if someone left a beer on the bar, I would drink it no matter what. If we're gonna be opening up stories about why we're drinking today, we're definitely getting back to your college days. But regardless. I was just hoping, because like food, like I was at like 70%, and then it never got higher than that. Like I got 75% of my taste and smell back ish, and then it's never really come back from that. So like beer, I noticed, because we don't really go out that much. Like I'm not going to bars. I don't drink at home really at all. Unless the Packers are forcing me to with awful playoff losses. But aside from that. I'm trying. I went out the last few weeks, and I'm having a beer or whatever, and I'm talking like, triple Abbey, like crazy strong beers, double IPA, stuff like that, where I know I should be able to taste, and it just doesn't taste the same. It doesn't taste right, and that's just really, really been depressing. It's been just heart crushing because like now it's getting warmer. People are getting vaccinated. People are going outside. Beer gardens are going to be open.
Everything tastes the same still? Or what's the... Do different kinds taste differently, or it's all just bland, basically?
It's full capacity. Like, I've had this particular beer a billion times, and it's one of my favorite just easy to buy, easy to grab, located all over Wisconsin beer, and it's just not satisfying anymore. I don't know. Yeah.
One of my friends lost hers, and she still lost it, and we had it back in June. Same friend that I got it originally with in 2020. So she still hasn't regained the taste buds.
Yeah,
or
and
the sense, I should say.
There's certain things that I smell or taste, and they all kind of smell the same. It's really weird. So that's my random rant. I'm still kind of bitter about it, and especially since like I want to go outside and drinking and hang out with my friends. This is even more soul crushing, but. That's what I got, man. That's what I got.
Hey, that's one way. Wedding you said was coming up. You can't taste beer. Don't even buy it. Just stick to the water for a couple.
It's
for the summer. For the summer. Oh, yeah, the pain. The pain.
Beer is going to be hosted at the wedding, so you'll be fine. All right. Mm-hmm. I need you to catch me up on what happened in Viking and Gopher Land because I know we had some moves, nothing crazy, but some significant things to note. Correct?
Yes, starting off with the Vikings, Mr. Patrick Peterson. Welcome to Minnesota, my friend. You're gonna be working out in a city I know very well here in Egan. So, if you maybe want to.
I also lived in Egan.
We can get together.
Small plot point.
You're gonna be working out at the complex. If I might sign up for Lyft or Uber just so I could maybe pick them up, rideshare something. Maybe I'm taking a break over work. A couple hours after they get out of the facility. No,
good thing to do after promotion. Good thing to do after promotion. Just take a break.
The first thing that comes to mind, and I won't talk too long about Peterson because the quick sixes spoiler about him also. The 1 year, $8 million. It seems like he'll be able to fit into the system well, and he has a desire, obviously, to stick with cornerback. And the best part is how many times did I talk about the fact we had two cornerbacks that were rookies last year? That experience alone, having him, is going to be huge. I don't think he's going to be in the return game anymore.
I hope not. I never understood why they had him back there. Like, how was he not a better person? They had Charles Woodson back there and Cobb back there for the Packers. It's like, why would you have talented players back there?
It's because he shined his rookie year at it. And spoiler. Another spoiler. That's in the quick six.
Stop.
Sorry. Okay, so the fact that I think ultimately we got rid of Anthony Harris. He signed a 1 year deal, our safety, with the Eagles for $5 million.
I saw that.
So I think we sort of upgraded in a sense that I bet we're going to ask Peterson to play safety or maybe even nickel at sometimes and cover the slot potentially. But I think the best part is, and you'll like this, I was reading an article, Leroy Butler said they got him for one reason and one reason only. You know what that is?
What?
Devontae Adams. They think he can shut him down, and I'm kind of like, yeah.
So, okay,
Devontae and Rodgers.
Right. So historically, that's been a great way to extend a quarterback's shelf life, right? Like the better players in the NFL are at the quarterback position, and the thing is, it's like you have to be good for a long, long time to be able to stay as a starting cornerback. But as you got older, like your late to mid 30s, or what? Sorry.
When he's even 30 too, so right about there.
Yeah, so he's in that spot where you start getting a little bit slower, you start taking a little bit more damage, and so then you switch over to safety position. You already understand. You can already read an offense. You already know how to read quarterbacks. You've seen most of the quarterbacks throughout the years. You've played against them. You obviously have been able to decipher routes running and everything. So that those kind of the intangible stuff, the stuff that they've been able to crystallize over time in their minds.
I love it. I love.
They sit back in safety, and now I think that's it's a natural progression, right? You're not moving as much. You can go up for run support occasionally, but your job.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you played football in middle school or high school, but if it's your number one job, deepest to deepest, widest to widest. So you're covering whatever is out there. You don't know what it is typically, but your goal is just to shut that down. So now he doesn't have to, engage a receiver at the line. He can sit back, read the play, diagnose, and do it. So I mean, but the thing is, like Devontae is most dangerous at 5 to 10 yards, not deeper. So it'll be interesting, and I understand that, and this is also something that I'm gonna cry about later because you said what was that 1 year $8 million?
Yeah,
that deal was. Yeah, well, we brought Kevin King back for 1 year $6 million. after Kyle Fuller, Peterson, and a slew of other cornerbacks were available. And my God, I don't think
sign. Did Kyle Fuller?
Yeah, I think he went to the Broncos. He got paid. Yeah,
he's solid. Okay.
Yeah, so that was. I'm not going to try to steal your thunder, but just comparatively speaking, that seems like a pretty good bargain. That seems like a pretty good bargain for Minnesota. So
yeah, I think he's been in all. Now he's at least been in the Pro Bowl. That doesn't have as much weight as an All-Pro, I think, but
obviously
his entire career, whatever. The next point was the Gophers hiring their basketball coach, Ben Johnson. He is actually a Minneapolis product. He went to De La Salle High School back in the day, which sort of dates me because I think he's older than me by a handful of years. I don't know exactly, but whatever. You guys can Google. 40.
How old you are?
He's 40.
Okay, so he's your age. He's your age.
Shut up. Maybe. He takes over for Richard Pitino, who, of course, I think we mentioned last week at this time, maybe even a week before I had alluded to it, but he was out, went to New Mexico. Ben Johnson comes in, played for the Gophers, so he went to De La Salle, which is in close to pretty much downtown Minneapolis. Played for the Gophers. The best news is, and I didn't tell you this right away, he's very well connected with the coaches in high school and the AAU teams involved in Minnesota, which I think is going to be immensely important to keep the talent here. I know we talked about that last week.
Man,
and so I'm
crazy.
hoping that comes, especially because the best part is this is kind of alluding to what you were going to bring up, the fact that the seniors potentially are going to all come back maybe for the Badgers, or it's a decision because of COVID they could weigh in potentially. But if we could steal some of them knowing that the Badgers are going to have more seniors back, this could be a great chess move initially to like, okay, we're grabbing some now because they're not going to grab any and then continue that movie. I don't know. So it's a great signing, I think. And he was an assistant real quick to Pitino anyways. So, I figured this was a good segue to get into your Badgers talk.
Yeah. Oh, man. So I will say, having family in North Carolina and just knowing how rough it's been the last month and a half to watch Badger basketball, because you know what they're capable of, but they just couldn't put it all together. Iowa just, literally dropped them 3 times in a row. Every other game seemed like such a difficult time. To watch them just whoop up on the Tar Heels, like knowing their path after they beat NC, like knowing that they would play Baylor, I was like, this is it. Like this is the game. This is what you got to do. And I think I was talking. I had like a couple of group chats going, but there was a stat. I think Roy Williams was 29-0 in the first round of the NCAA tournament up until this past game.
Oh,
so
okay.
So
I was sorry. I was gonna say, didn't it feel like a lot of people were on North Carolina winning anyway? So it just seemed like Wisconsin. This was a good.
Obviously 29-0 is. That's just a fact. That you can.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but if you just looked at the rosters, you didn't watch any of them play, and you see how young North Carolina is, and you see how many seniors, and like just experience-wise, I think on a neutral court, I think you had to go Badgers. But obviously, people were pretty split on it, right? So I was really excited. It was a complete game. Like everybody played well. Trice was on fire. Davison played the game of his life. Like it was absolutely insane. And just watching the defense, they were really careful about turnovers. Clock management was nice. Once they got the lead, they slowed down the game like they wanted to. And they're not really a fast break team, but there was quite a few fast break plays. Reavers was just blocking shots left and right. Like it was just a nice, complete game. And then obviously I had very low expectations against Baylor because they're just okay. So there's, we have 2 1 seeds left, 3 1 seeds left. So it's like. You know that there's 3.
Michigan also.
Gonzaga. So that they're a very talented team, but watching them against the Badgers, they are such polar opposite teams, right?
Yep.
Like just absolutely. Watching them go against, it's like all of the Badgers' strengths are exactly what Baylor is good at stopping, right? Like, so we're good around the perimeter, really good with not causing turnovers. They're amazing defending the perimeter, and they're amazing at creating turnovers.
Yep.
Like it
fast break.
It was exactly. We play slow, they play fast. So it was a rough game to watch, but I think everyone kind of had that expectation going in. It's like, hey, you know what? We played well against NC. To your comment about the seniors returning, it sounds like at least 2 or 3 of them, of the starters, have already kind of said their goodbyes via Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. So
I saw that with Trice.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to be back, but you never know. But yeah, I don't know. It was nice just to see like one solid game after like a really rough end of the season and the Big Ten tournament not going so great. It was nice to see like one really solid game, and Davison and Trice going out like they did was pretty cool too. But Packers wise, I already mentioned that they brought King back, which I mean that is like it just feels just so meh. It's like obviously he's not as bad as he looked in the NCAA championship game, but he also has never played a complete season. He was on the injury report, I think. Yeah, 14 weeks out of 17 total. So, I mean, you can make the argument he's great when healthy, but he's not healthy ever. So, and the fact that we traded down and let TJ Watt get picked in that position will forever haunt me. It will forever haunt me. So,
that's a great.
Anyways, I think the plan is you draft a corner early, you let him pair up with King. King maybe as like the third, throw him in the slot maybe. He's not going to be opposite Alexander. I think it's just more of a depth move as opposed to we're bringing him back to start kind of thing. Which
is fair. That's a fair.
I think I'm hoping at least if they go offense again and not wide receiver, I'm gonna be.
Dude, even Anthony Harris got less than him at $5 million with the.
There's some contract stuff in there though that I need to take another look at. I don't know if it's not 6 guaranteed. I think there's a lot of incentive stuff in there too. So. The other notes are that the Packers restructured 6 major contracts to kind of make room for this year so they can possibly make maybe one more move. The elephant in the room is that, as I mentioned last week, they still haven't touched Aaron Rodgers' contract. I think that's pretty plain. I mean, you don't really have to read between the lines to know that he's pretty staunch in his position. He doesn't want to give the team anything in the event that he's going to be released or he's going to be traded or dealt, in lieu of Love starting in his place. So I get it, but it's just showing that this is what all the teams are doing. They're just pushing off. We'll figure it out next year. Everyone's worried about the cap going down this year. We'll figure it out later. So that's pretty much what they do every year, and that's what they did this year. The only other thing I want to say, the voidable years is weird. That is new, and I don't like that. That's weird.
Apparently it's not. We should do some research. Maybe that would be a fun topic to explore next week.
No one's ever talked about though. You think that would be a very like open topic, but
that's why Taysom. Yeah, go ahead.
The only other thing that I really want to note is that my boy, Big Dog, Marcedes Lewis is back 2 years, baby. I love him. He is amazing.
He'll be on the podcast soon.
He's like that guy in the locker room. He's the person that like he's never gonna showboat. But you know what? He actually caught a couple TD passes last year too. So it's really nice just to see him becoming so invested in the team. I was really worried that he would retire, but I don't know if he's gonna play both years of that contract. But very excited that they made that room just because he's such a presence in the locker room and.
Especially with Tanyan.
He's
like re-signing Tanyan. You still got he can come in and spot play just like he did this year. It's perfect.
Yeah, but it's more just kind of getting Tanyan in the right mindset. Like they're obviously their skill set's completely different.
Yeah.
Tanyan's obviously the receiver of the two, and Marcedes is going to be the lead blocker. But I think just the locker room presence, and he's Rodgers' BFF. Like those boys are tight. Like, as soon as Marcedes catches a touchdown this coming season, if Rodgers isn't the first one there to go up and hug him, I mean, I'm telling you, dude, they're boys.
He doesn't need to restructure. They already brought his boy back. They brought it.
All right, next topic. All right, so To be completely honest, I did not look at my bracket since I submitted it Thursday morning. So everything that I saw today was a complete surprise. Obviously I knew who I had in like Sweet 16 and finals and all that kind of stuff, but the early rounds, let's just take a peek. So in the Armchair Analysts Bracket Challenge, we've got 13 teams, and our very own Ace is in first place. Come on, boy.
No.
But he also had Illinois winning, so it's not looking super great.
Hey, somebody snuck a bracket too.
What?
There was only 13. There's somehow 14. Never mind. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
And we actually did I'm in fifth. I have Michigan winning in that one. But
so you still have yours alive.
Mine's still alive. My final, and so we actually have one head-to-head too, just Ace and I, and I have Baylor winning. So
compared to I picked Illinois in basically every single bracket, so I'm out.
Really? See, you gotta hedge your bets, man. You gotta hedge your bets.
Yep, that was terrible.
So I'm up by 1 point, but your final four is looking a little rough right now.
I picked. Oh my god. I picked my final four was okay. Florida State still left, but Virginia, Florida State, Baylor, and Illinois.
All right. So my takeaway. First of all, I want to say this is what we dreamed of when we had working from home. I use my MacBook Pro for work, and so I have these two monitors just sitting here most of the day. I had basketball on both, and it was amazing. I pushed all my meetings as late as I could, and I just had basketball, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. So that is the dream, right? So like most people are heading back to the office pretty soon, vaccinations, yada yada yada. Don't need to talk about that, but just getting this in before we go back to the office, me gusta mucho.
So that made his 2021.
that was okay. I was okay with it. Yeah. The other things, I feel like there was I'm not gonna say a ton of history, but there were some really interesting points, like Drake making it for like the first time in 50 years. There were some other crazy facts that they were bombarding us with, but
I thought it was most of the team that was on I don't remember how far they made it. Loyola. Did they make it to the Final Four? It was in 2018. Most of that team was seniors this year. Some of the players, I don't know how active they were. But
so I think there's like 2 or 3 on this current roster that were on that team. So that obviously was really cool. That was a huge upset. Oral Roberts, Ohio State, or Oral Roberts, Florida, also very intense. I mean, this is probably the best year for the underdog because you were playing only teams in your conference, right? So you never
glad you said that.
Any interconference play. You never really got to see another team. So like when we played Baylor, it's like, well, we have never faced anybody like you because there's nobody in the Big Ten that's anything like Baylor. So when they matched up against that, not only that, but it was a 2-day turnaround. You play NC, and then all of a sudden you're playing arguably one of the best teams in the tournament.
And NC even had a different offensive game plan too. Then so they're
don't make any baskets. Don't make any baskets. Get in foul trouble, and don't rebound.
Attempt no 3-pointers. My god! I'm glad they had. Okay, I calculated this. I watched the end of the second half up from like the 15-minute mark down. They attempted 1, if not 2, 3-pointers.
Yeah, their points in the paint. Their points in the paint was like 90% of their points, not including free throws. But they were heralded as one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Wisco rebounded them. Just saying. All right. Anything else you want to chat about quick before we switch over? I think
for the brackets, no.
Well, you're that ashamed? Come on, it wasn't that bad.
I mean, we did have 14 listeners. We could say fill out brackets, which is actually pretty cool to get. And it looks like people still have an opportunity. Baylor, Gonzaga, you got Michigan. A lot of people got Gonzaga that are left. So
yeah, I feel like that was
neck and neck if Gonzaga. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's going to be a clear-cut favorite, either Baylor or Michigan if they win. It'll be you or a coworker of mine.
As fun as it is to have everybody like competing and also like picking the upsets and all that kind of stuff. Like that's gotta feel good. Like if you pick Loyola to beat Illinois, I mean that's obviously pretty cool. But I mean, at the same time, you get the most points for later rounds, right? So. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Loyola just runs train and just keeps dominating. I don't know.
Ugh.
But
no way.
Yeah. So this was fun. I'm excited. I'm just glad we got March Madness this year. To be fair.
Correct. Yeah. I think the play was obviously, like you said, that not having to play or out of conference really made a difference in this match.
And that's kind of not quite the same as the NBA playoffs in the bubble last year, but it's kind of the same because like you're playing in unknown territory. Like everyone's kind of on, we're on the same level. Like we haven't really been in. And not only that, but there was a huge break. So it was just different. It kind of whoever wins this tournament, I mean, that's going to be a very talented school, no matter what. I mean, that's obvious in every year, but this one especially because you had no other challenges outside the people you play every year, all the time. So I think this will be really interesting to see how it pans out. Obviously, we have a few days break in between, so it's nice just to kind of recap and take a look at how awful we are at predicting things and all that good stuff.
No kidding.
Yeah, well, you can't win
It's
them all.
all right.
You can't win them all.
Correct.
All right, so tee off topic. I think this is very sentimental and sweet of you, Ace. The favorite sports moment of the weekend. Would you care to regale us of your story? What are you thinking?
Yeah, mine isn't going to be around I mean, I could make it for the NCAA.
No. Favorite.
My favorite moment was Phil Mickelson saving par on a ridiculous. His first shot got relief. Second shot got relief. Second shot and third shot was able to get relief on both of those shots. Hit incredible second and third shots to put himself within 8 feet to just hit a putt in 8 to 10 feet. It was Phil being Phil, and it was in a weekend where like obviously March Madness took everything out of the landscape of like what people would be watching. It was kind of funny to see like Phil is still able to compete no matter the circumstances. I'll post the clip I think on the website, armchairpodcast.com.
Yeah, there it is.
Just because I think it's worth seeing the talent that comes with like just his practice and overall commitment to the game. It's insane the shot that he hits, or the 2 shots he hits to put himself in range.
By the way?
So he's he's either 50 or 51. So he's technically supposed to be on the senior tour, but he keeps getting these exempt statuses because he's won a lot on the PGA Tour. So he played in the Honda Classic this week, actually. But yeah, that was my favorite sports moment. I thought it was funny, just kind of recapping. Golf is, we both play it, so I watch a little bit of it and be able to see that.
Speaking of, the clubs are coming out of retirement. I'm pulling them out of storage. It's been so gross this week, but I think I'm still going to pull them out probably tomorrow or Thursday. Wait, tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow or Friday.
Yeah.
Just because I mean, if even if it's crappied out, the range is covered, so I was thinking about just going out there. I still have vouchers. I think I just need to set up a tea time, but it's yeah. The problem is that since I live in Madison, like the water level's so high typically, and after all the rain we've had and the snow melting, it's gonna be like a bog. So obviously there'll be no carts, but like even if you're walking, it just does not sound. It sounds pretty gross. Like your ball's just gonna, it's just gonna splat. It's just gonna stick there. So I don't know.
It's not ready yet.
If you really want to, you could, but I don't think I want to that bad. I'm desperate to play, but not that desperate.
I've had a friend go out a few times already in the last couple weeks. And honestly, he's probably been out of hand, like 5 upwards. It's nuts.
My favorite moment.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna be a little generic, and I'm gonna be a little vague, and I'm gonna be a little boring. But I think it's
Mr. Team?
No. Kind of not really at all. I mean, I guess that's a pretty impactful thing too. I mean, she's 102. Like, that's pretty intense. Like, and her pregame analysis or pregame prayer was just like a scouting report, basically, and it was like all just dead on, which was crazy. Even the announcers were like, "Wow, she did a better job than we did." I think it's just everything kind of hitting the students at once. Like the seniors, like this is your last game when they lose. Just seeing the emotion. Like I know it's sad, but like it just shows it's like players didn't get this last year. You know, a lot if the players decide not to come back, they missed out on that opportunity. You know, they didn't even get to play in their conference tournaments, you know? So, getting to this level, getting to this stage, even like the smaller schools getting some notoriety, you know, I think that's always big. But just seeing the players, like even if they lost, like they got to a place where, you know, only 64 schools get to. Out of the entire country. That's insane. Mm-hmm. So I think just seeing it like just kind of hit them. It's like, wow. Or the opposite side, just, you know, the excitement, like, oh, whoa, yeah, we just defeated an amazing team, you know,
and we knew we could do it. That sort of swagger, confidence.
Just seeing just the emotions, because we didn't get that last year, you know. I mean, this is whether or not you follow college basketball, whether or not, you know, you're into like March Madness, like it just. Embracing like the human emotion and nature of the game, and just seeing the emotion of the kids. Like, you gotta remember, these are still kids, you know. They're, you know, 18 to 21, although they had to make it very clear that the Badgers starting roster is older than the Chicago Bulls, because it's a very senior laden team, so the average age is older than an NBA team. But aside from them, these are still kids. So just seeing them get into the game, enjoying it, you know, seeing them play their heart out, you know, win or loss. I think for me that was probably the best part, because, you know, being robbed of that last year, that I obviously I was infuriated, but, you know, them, like, can you imagine, like, you play, college basketball is not a short season. That's a long season. That's a long grind. You got preseason tournaments, postseason tournaments, multiple,
and like the majority of our country, everybody was caught off guard, you know, except for those sort of within the know, kind of like alluding to stuff that didn't get to more mainstream. But even them,
though, like we're going to cancel one of the biggest, you know, cultural phenomenons in the country just weeks before it has to take place. Literally 3 weeks. So, I think I remember we were even talking about it. I think we were like, they can't do it. There's no way. They can't do it. You know, they did it. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. All right. Well, we were sappy, we were emotional, and now you are going to go into full investigative mode, and you're going to tell us all about PP.
Well, yeah, and the best part is I get to school you on some questions. Patrick Peterson.
Oh, I have to answer these? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I was going to make it a true and false, and I'm like, you know what? That doesn't make sense. I should just do it like,
okay, all right,
this or that. Either or. Okay, so Patrick Peterson, just for context, graduated in 2011, which he played for LSU also. No, not going to give away anything. Which school did he commit to originally before LSU? Was it Miami or Georgia?
Miami.
Damn it. Did you know that?
No, that was DBU. All the best defensive backs in the NFL all wanted to go to Miami, at least for a while. All right, next.
Okay. Good one. That's a good one. All right, his vertical jump, is it over or under 38 inches? This is kind of a softball.
I'm going to say over.
Damn it. Yeah, 38 and a half. Oh, man. I thought I'd get you on that. So the rest of these are kind of pretty freaking interesting. His first interception ever
This is a cool
in any game was against which QB? Was it Phillip Rivers or Tom Brady?
I feel like it would be less notable if it was Rivers, because he throws a lot of interceptions. So, but I think you put Brady in there just as like a red herring. But I'm gonna go with Brady.
Nope, it was Rivers.
Hey, of course, he throws way more interceptions.
His
all right.
First preseason game too, oddly enough. All right. He returned a touchdown his first ever regular season game. Was it defensive or special teams?
You gave this one to me, so special teams.
Did I?
Yeah, you said it early in the show. You said he was such a phenomenon in this rookie year on special teams.
I did.
Interesting.
Oh, hold up, though. This is the reason I said it, though. As a rookie, he tied a record for what? Oh, no, interception return touchdowns or punt return touchdowns?
Punt return touchdowns. That's still very impressive.
Cool. 4. So the record is 4, and he did it his rookie year, which is probably why he lasted so long back there for the Cardinals.
It's hard to pull him. It's like if you can get a free score, I mean not free, but if you can avoid even touching the ball on offense and just get a touchdown, yeah, you kind of have to leave him back there, I think.
I should have brought up who all. I think it was Devin Hester for sure is with him on that record. I don't know who else.
Human Joystick, Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
Dante Hall?
Yes, Dante Hall, yes. I think he's up there with 4. Okay. As a rook, no, I already said that. How many total defensive touchdowns does he have in his career?
So not including any special teams. This is solely defensive. So
yep. So forced
scoop and
fumbles,
score, pick 6,
interceptions, yeah.
Oh man. Can I get a hint? Is it double digits?
No.
6.
1.
Oh!
1 interception return touchdown in his career. Isn't that? He's
no fumble returns?
19. He's had 19 fumble recoveries, 0 return for touchdown. I read. Wow. So there are some fun freaking stats and
that is very fun. So
Patrick
fun.
Peterson.
See, you thought I was gonna do well, and then I took a nosedive.
Well, at the end, but I knew I was gonna get you at the end.
You give me you let me think, you build up my confidence, and then you let me get too confident and cocky, and then I destroy myself. Boom. All right. Well, cheers to you, my honorable co-host. Cheers to you, listeners. We appreciate you guys so much. If you haven't already, feel free to check out our website, armchairpodcast.com. All that good stuff. The announcer guy is going to tell you at the end anyway, but we just want to talk about how much we love that site. We appreciate everyone who signed up for the bracket challenge. We'll see how it pans out. I mean, Ace obviously isn't going to win. We can't let that happen. I'm not going to win because I'm terrible at this. So we'll find out who wins. We're excited. More stuff coming. Hoping to have some guests on next week. And
if Michigan wins, I will just say sorry. You have an outside chance of winning.
Yeah, well,
whatever.
I won't brag too much. Because I already owe you multiple punishments from last year. So...
Yeah, we need to go back in the
we got to give you like a pink jersey to wear around on a date or something. We'll see. No more Fireball gummies, though, I promise. We'll talk to you guys next week. I'm Johnny, that's Ace, and we are out.
That's the show for this week. Check out Armchair Analyst on Twitter at AA Podcasts, on YouTube, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. If this wasn't enough, be sure to check out armchairpodcast.com for more. See you next week.